Down syndrome occurs when a person has an extra part to the 21st chromosome. Many people with Down syndrome face many challenges, such as physical, emotional, and social challenges. According to the National Down Syndrome Society, 1 out of every 691 babies born in the United States have Down syndrome. There are 3 types of Down syndrome. The first one is trisomy 21. Down syndrome is usually caused by an error in division called non-disjunction. This results in an embryo with 3 copies of the 21st chromosome instead of 2 copies, hence the name trisomy 21. Trisomy 21 is the most common type of Down syndrome because it takes up 95% of all cases of Down syndrome. Socially challenged. People with Down syndrome have many social problems. They don't have many friends and they are usually avoided by the public. The opportunity to establish friendships is very limited because many of them don't fit in. Their friends are usually people with similar disabilities. They develop behaviors through temperament, experiences, school, community, and how they are treated. Their rate of brain development is very low, so even when they are 23 years old, they will still act like a 10-year-old. They can't continue a conversation and they also take a lot of time before responding to questions. Educationally challenged. Many children with Down syndrome are not allowed to be educated in certain countries. They were considered inducible until the 1970s. People with Down syndrome aren't necessarily as bright as people without Down syndrome. Their brain growth rate doesn't allow them to learn as rapidly as other people. It has been proven that people with Down syndrome learn better when they are put in a normal environment with normal people. They have a hard time coping with these standards and are usually a lot behind in school. They are also in classes with people that are a lot younger than them. Physically challenged. One challenge includes low muscle tone. In this, the muscles are less firm than usual, the person has loose joints, as well as poor posture. Another challenge is that they have small hands and feet. Their hands and feet are relatively smaller compared to other people without Down syndrome. Another challenge is that they are shorter in height. They tend to be shorter in height compared to those who don't have Down syndrome. This is Down syndrome.
There are many challenges in Down syndrome, including educational challenges, social challenges, and physical challenges. Okay,
This is the physical challenge.
we're gonna run. 3, 2, 1, go! As you saw in the physical challenge, I fell down before I even reached the finish line. This is because I have Down syndrome. People with Down syndrome have low muscle tone, and their muscles are less firm than usual. They also have loose joints and have poor posture. People with Down syndrome have small hands and feet. Their hands and feet are relatively smaller compared to the other people without Down syndrome. They're also shorter in height compared to those who don't have Down syndrome.
Social challenges.
Hi, I'm Ishan.
Hi,
What's your name?
Eunice.
Cool. Where are you from?
I forgot.
Okay. Alright. So, what you like to do for fun?
Nothing.
Do you not like to do anything?
Yeah.
As you can see, this person has Down syndrome. He's not answering me correctly, and he seems lonely, and he didn't even look at me. He had no eye contact whatsoever. Down syndrome is a syndrome and it contains social challenges. People who have Down syndrome don't really have many friends, and they're usually avoided by the public because, as I was just talking to him, he wasn't responding correctly. The opportunity to establish friendship is very limited because they don't seem to fit in. Although they may have friends, but usually those are friends with the same disability as them. They develop behaviors through temperament, experiences, school, community, and how they are treated. Their rate of brain development is very low, so even if they are, let's say, 23 years old, they'll behave like a 10-year-old, shy, and all. And as you can see here, he wasn't talking to me. They can't continue to have a conversation, and they also take a lot of time before responding to questions. For instance, when I asked him his name, he said, Yuvanish. So that's a social challenge for people with Down syndrome.
Educational challenges.
Project. Porpus. Ta. Purpose of this project. See this. The two. Farm.
As you can see, people with Down syndrome are educationally challenged. They can't read properly or sound out syllables properly. This is because many children with Down syndrome are not allowed to be educated in certain countries. They were considered ineducable until the 1970s. People with Down syndrome are necessarily as bright as people without Down syndrome. Their brain growth rate doesn't allow them to learn as rapidly as other people. It has been proven that people with Down syndrome learn better when they are put in a normal environment with normal people. They have a hard time coping with the standards and are usually behind in school. They are also in classes with people that are a lot younger than them. People should treat people with Down syndrome very nicely, and they should not should treat them as family. They should not look over them and say, "Who are they? They don't even know anything," and then look more into their disease and help them understand everything.
It's not their fault they were born this way. I'm Ishan.
And this is Yonish.
Thank you for your time.
Educational challenges.
Project Porpoise. Duh. Corp has Down syndrome. He's socially challenged. He has no friends whatsoever. And there's a spider. And do you think he'll make friends with that spider that's next to him? Because there's actually a spider right next to him.
Educational challenges.
Project Porpoise. To Porpoise.